Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 GovHack Connections event for the Central Region, which is essentially South Australia and NT. I welcome you all, and I acknowledge that I'm hosting and or recording this meeting and webinar from the lands of the Kaurna people. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all work today, and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people participating in this meeting and webinar. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal people and their ongoing cultures and connections to the land and waters of Australia. So, welcome everyone. My name is Harshal Dave, and I'm the Regional Director for SA and NT. It has been a wonderful couple of years. I've been involved with GovHack, earlier as a volunteer, and now as the State Director, handling both SA and NT. I have an excellent and wonderful team of volunteers who you will probably meet in due course of time. They have you'll probably see a few of them on video also in a few minutes later in my presentation. But it's really good to be part of this great team. So without further ado, I want to actually go ahead and talk about what are we trying to cover today. So essentially, the agenda is talk a little bit about what is GovHack, what it is about data that we are all passionate about, and what we wanted to talk about from a data perspective. The other thing is, especially with this time of 2020 in unforeseen and in a different world, what is it that is new for GovHack 2020, and that is something which we would definitely like to cover. Also want to cover the various themes that are there for this year. We would also go through the helpful hints, which and quick tidbits which our team has put together, and then also we want to talk about how are we going to get connected this year. We are obviously going to use the mediums that we are currently connected over, Slack and Zoom, and we will talk more at length about that. And then we are open to taking some questions. Of course, we will have as a part of this, we will also have our sponsors who would be talking about what is it that is going to be interesting and data enriching from their perspective. Have a look out for that as well. We have some excellent speakers today who will be talking about it. Thanks. So what is GovHack? Hack essentially is always related to something which is malicious and something which is of a negative connotation. However, what we want to use in GovHack is actually bring it out as a positive experience. This is definitely not related to any malicious intent. It is essentially, as the Oxford Dictionary defines it, a quick or inelegant solution to a particular problem. It also has been defined as a program in a program in a clever, virtuosic, and wizardly manner. It is also a subtle and arguably mystical art, equal parts with and technical ability. So this is something which, along with the data that we have available, we would definitely like to make it usable for the greater good of the communities and the and the people that we serve. So essentially, GovHack is a festival of ideas. We use open government data, and we make our communities a better place. Essentially, whether it is our council, whether it is our states, or whether it is um, the country that we live in. We want to make sure that we make it better. We use information that is readily available, and we of course want to enjoy as part of the whole experience, and learn new skills out of that as well. So from our perspective, what is it that what is GovHack and how is it going to happen over the course of the 3 days? It's essentially a 46-hour hackathon which starts at 7 p.m. on Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is 6:30 p.m. In our region on Friday, the 14th of August, and it will continue all the way through Saturday and through Sunday, and will end at 5 p.m. On Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. Essentially, what we want to make sure is we reuse open available government data. There is a structured way of looking at what we want to achieve in those 46 hours. We actually want to go through the entire process in a very structured manner. We want to make sure we get a lot of ideas coming through as part of that. Then we would want to go ahead and develop some proof of concept, whether it is a storyboard, whether it is a prototype, or whether it is um, a musical a sketchboard, or however you want to conceptualize it. And also we want to make sure that we have a good story documented with clear citations and relevant data that of course is available through the data sets that we will discuss as part of this this connections event. And of course, we want to make sure that there is an excellent video pitch which is there, which which is clear, which is to the point, and also make sure that it relays the relevant information about what you have done through the entire 3 days, 46 hours, and brings forward in a concise manner what is it that the solution is all about. Okay. What I want to quickly talk about on this screen is essentially some of the apps and the solutions or the projects which the team did, which won accolades in the last year. Okay, so top left is a website which talks about insolvency, comparing historical records and the risks that would that would come around with it. So that was one which was developed, and it also won awards last year. There is on the top right, you see an app which is called TrainMate, which helps you navigate around public transport, and also provide support and additional information to the various agencies which are involved from the users. So it is kind of a two-way communication mechanism application which was developed. The next one was on the bottom left is actually, believe it or not, there is a song which was created, which actually um, relates to something which is mm, which is of historical importance, and that also won an award. And the next one on the bottom right was a physical maker project, um, uh, to be used for that was also something which won awards. So as you can see, there's a different group. There's a website. There's a app. There is a artistic couple of artistic implementations which have been part of GovHack last year. So there is some really good good stories out there. Okay. Um, who can participate in GovHack? Essentially, anyone can do. We have had um, we have had participants who are uh, 4 years old, and we have had all the way to an octogenarian who was involved in and participated in it. So we have a wide gamut of people who can actually join and be part of this. This is free, and um, we have seen a lot of interest coming in from students, whether it's from the primary, secondary, or tertiary mediums. We also have a lot of public servants who have very much got a lot of interest, a keen interest, and a keen desire um, in working with the communities, working with the students, working with the individuals who are passionate about data. We have, of course, people coming in from the technology industry who would like to create um, solutions, ideate and think through solutions which would obviously help make make things better for their communities or for their cities or states where they live in. We have, of course, got a lot of freelancers coming in. We have creatives, artistic people with artistic bent of mind who are part of this. We have uh, got data lovers. We have, you name them, we have them. We have got we've got we've got a wide variety of age, skills, and subject matter expertise. um, People participate across the board. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about what is open data, and um, what open data essentially is anything which is available online, which does not have any restrictive license, which is publishable in open formats, which such as CSV files or open API formats, and which is free and freely accessible wherever possible. So essentially, if we look at open data, we would encompass anything which is all of the above. So there is we have to make sure that there is no restrictive license for the data that we are using. So that is another that is another piece. Okay. Um, a lot of data is, as we all know, is available in the public domain. The Australian Open Data Portal, also known as data.gov.au, has got a lot of data sets which is available. Similarly, there are other open data portals which are state specific. As you can see out here, across all the different states and union territories, we have our specific state ones as well. So we have the one for South Australia, um, and we have the one for Northern Territory. Territory. So essentially, it's data.state.gov.au in both cases, and you can go there. You can look at a lot of information which is available on these two um, data portals. Okay. Then of course there are the local city and council who have their data available. Adelaide University, City of Adelaide. We have TT Gurley and some other cities and councils, the Marion Council. All of that, there is a lot of data available online. If you are able to get into the portals and go through that, you will find a lot of interesting data out there available through those avenues as well. What we have over here, and we would be also putting this information up on Hackerspace, is there is this all this information about open data. There is two important aspects of it. One is the information. What you see out here is a collection of different data portals. So these are the links to all the different data portals that you could go to, and they are available once you log into your into the Hackerspace. We would also let you know about some key data sets which have been highlighted by the sponsors, and they are available also on the Hackerspace. What you have represented out here is from last year, but for this year, as we get closer to the competition, maybe about a week or so earlier, a lot of these data sets, relevant data sets, will be available, and will be highlighted. Okay. Okay, so now I would talk a little bit about what is new in GovHack this year. Given that we are all in a world of unforeseen times, unprecedented times, however you want to call it. Social distancing measures are in place. With with the COVID-19 pandemic impact, what we are going to have is an online only event for SA and NT. What we want to make sure is that there is we have all the relevant things in place to make sure that we have an excellent and successful online event. Okay, so as a precursor to that, there have been some discussions and some conferences already from the sponsors who have been talking about different live streams, and we have had some digital conferences around it. You can see some of them. You could also go back and look at the YouTube links for those. They are also available, through the Hackerspace. Okay. The other alternative is you could, through this specific YouTube channel also, you could look at the previous events of this channel, and then you could you can see all these other events which have occurred. So these are all the pre-competition digital conference events that have happened so far. Most of them happened in the last couple of weeks of July. But all this information is still digitally available online. Yeah. Of course, what we have this year is we have introduced a treasure hunt, which is again a pre-competition event. So the treasure hunt, is essentially to make sure that US participants would actually start looking at data, and look at the different websites, look at the different data sets which are available, and you might go to different websites and try to get some information around that. Most of this, so watch out for that. As again, if you're not registered, make sure you please register on the Hackerspace, and you will see instructions following through for treasure hunts and all the other events. So obviously, since everyone is going to be either at home or probably in some virtual space, connecting through for GovHack this year, the team formation is also going to be online. As a part of that, what we have made available is your individual profiles on Hackerspace. So you could potentially put in all the information which relates to you. What interests you, what is it, what are the different kind of people in the team that you're looking for. If you go and create your profile, you would probably find all that information relevant as the competition progresses. If you are coming in with a known team, you may or may not choose to create a profile, but we would strongly request you to create one, so that it'll serve multiple purposes. Number one, it will make sure that it is a avenue for you to basically connect back to us in GovHack. Obviously, it is also an avenue for you to connect in with the mentors and the others who might need through the competition weekend, and also with your permission only, explicit permission only. If anyone from the sponsorship team would like to connect with you, then through a mediated in a mediated manner, that is something which definitely would happen as a part of this this event. Normally, if it was in a venue, in a physical venue, then that access was pretty much very easy. But since it's different times, we want to make sure that it is mediated. At the same time, it is something which is also possible this year. There'll be a lot of team formation activities which will be there online. Initially, first couple of hours on Friday, that is something which we want to make sure that if you are coming in as individual or a couple of individuals who want to find like-minded people and then connect as a team, as a group, then that is something which will definitely happen. And we would have Zoom and Slack, like I've mentioned earlier, as vehicles for that. Slack Find a Team with the hashtag Slack Find a Team is going to be used for online team formation. Okay. Obviously, another thing which is new this year is the fact that we are going to have a coordinated competition across all all of Australia, as in we are going to start at the same time and end at the same time, which means 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we will start, and on Friday the 14th, and we will end at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday the 16th. Um, so that would mean a slightly different time for um, SANNT and again for Western Australia as well. For our extended teams in New Zealand, they would start at 7 p.m. New Zealand local time and end at 5 p.m. on Sunday New Zealand local time. So that is a slight change in terms of the what we had before. Okay. Next is how are we connecting this year? So what we are going to connect this year is we are going to make sure that we connect through Slack and Zoom. If you have not already, please go on to govhack.org/slack and register yourself. For previous year participants or participants who earlier participated in GovHack, you can still go to govhackhq.slack.com and reinstate your previous credentials to ensure that you're part of this year's GovHack. And of course, like I said, we will be using Zoom. I'll talk a little bit about Zoom in detail, in the forthcoming slides. What are the proposed themes for GovHack 2020? Okay, so the proposed themes this year are, there are many themes this year. There could be other themes or other ideas which the specific sponsors want also to focus on. But this is a kind of an indicative list so far. This is not final, but this is an indicative list. I just want to make sure I talk through some of them. So resilience and recovery of our communities, beyond COVID-19, new ways to work and play. Obviously, the way we work and play has evolved, and we just want to make sure that that is captured through different data sets. So that is something which which we want to cover. Inclusive and accessible. Across Australia, 1 in 5 people have have a disability, and we want to make sure that we cater to and create projects and solutions which include and which also take care of all the people who are specially abled, and make sure that we cover them as well. Again, health and well-being is a very important topic this year, given that a lot of us instead of moving out, moving meeting colleagues, meeting people, traveling, etc., are actually locked and probably working and confined in smaller spaces, and for days and sometimes weeks together. Health and well-being becomes a very important topic, and it's important to stay healthy, both mind, spirit, body, and soul, I guess. So that is something which is very important. We want to make sure that that is covered as part of these themes as well. Open science, citizen science. This is something which is related to tools and providing the tools and giving it to the community and getting anyone involved which relate to that. Emergency management again relates to how best we can take care in the current environment, given that we have had a lot of emergencies across Australia this year, starting with bushfires and now with COVID. Um, there are the last two on that list. I'm just quickly skimming through, but if you have any specific questions, please you know do let us know, and we will answer that. Australian bushfires have ravaged a lot of the states through 2019 and 2020, and that is definitely a theme which we wanted to cover this year as well, which relates to help support and protect, and how to make sure that the emergency management services are better prepared, better equipped, in future. So that is one side of it. The other side of it is obviously which is uh, a very important matter currently, which is Black Lives Matter. Um, that is a way to make sure that the indigenous Aboriginal Torres Strait Islanders are represented and all are working well together. So these are the different themes. And like I mentioned, there could be others which the sponsors put in. Now we would like to talk a little bit about the helpful hints, and some of the helpful hints. I'm just quickly going to go through them in the best interest of time. Um, that make sure you have a multidisciplinary group of people. You should have people with different roles and different who could wear different hats. They may or may not wear multiple hats, but they could be a programmer. They could also be a problem solver in a way. We want people who are passionate about data. We want people who are the creative geniuses, who are relevant. You have people who work with user interface, user experience, so UI UX. We want someone who makes sure in the team that they keep everyone on track. So that is the person who is kind of the facilitator in the team, and making sure that submissions are done on time for the challenges and so on. And if you have a subject matter expert in the area, just why not get that person along. If you're trying to tackle something in the health space, and you need a doctor or you need a nurse, by all means, please reach out and see if you can get that kind of subject matter expert available with you as part of this team, because that would also help look at the solution from a different perspective. What is going to happen before Friday, the 14th of August? What we would like and encourage the participants to do is make sure that you participate in the treasure hunt and make sure you explore the data. The data, like I mentioned earlier in the previous slides, talk about talks about going into the hacker space and making sure that you look at the different data sets available, and start to look at creating some kind of an idea in terms of what are you going to cover and so on. Then on Friday, start settling in before the live stream begins, and we will be providing instructions and information related to that. The opening live stream begins at 6:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, and at 7 p.m. all the competition challenges will be announced. So watch out for that. What we want to make sure, what you want to make sure that you do is immediately after that, explore the challenges and the related data sets. See what kind of challenges have what kind of you know um, mm, prerequisites attached to it, and so on. Also speak to the mentors. They will be there. There will be, you could use uh, hashtag mentor. There'll be um, a Zoom room available for the mentors also, so you could reach out to them. Um, Identify potential challenges for the group, brainstorm ideas, and start putting some information on the hackerspace. At least create a project name and start to put in your project bodies along with that. As you go into Saturday, the Saturday is where you do most of your work. Essentially, make sure you brainstorm a lot of ideas. You ideate, and come across. Don't throw away ideas, but at least keep them parked aside. And then pick up the ones which you think you're going to address. Lock in the challenges you want to actually work on, um, and then as a part of what you are also doing, make sure you take photographs and screenshots of the work throughout what you've been doing. This is important as that will be some kind of a repository or a citation for the information and the work that you have been doing throughout the project, and you could submit that as information as well. Um, Create the mock-up of the prototype, develop the prototype. You should clearly cite the data sets that you use, and um, try to correlate the data sets that you are using if you are using multiple data sets. Um, at least on Saturday, have a rough draft of the concept video that you're going to prepare, the 3-minute video pitch that we talked about earlier. At least have some kind of an idea about it, storyboard it. Make sure you update your project page, as you go through all this through the day. And what we are going to have is some kind of live stream gaming event at 7 p.m. On Saturday, which is basically a good welcome break from what you would be doing, and everyone would be interested. And I'm sure we will have prizes to give away, and it'll be a good fun event to be able to participate in. On Sunday is the day when you actually complete everything. So film the concept video, finalize prototypes if you're using, make sure you have something which is workable, at least in part, if not full. If you're developing or coding a solution, then make sure you have something which is working. Again, complete all of what has been mentioned above. Data set citations, data stories, the video. Make sure you upload the video on YouTube, Vimeo, and also submit the latest version of the prototype to GitHub, Bitbucket, Dropbox, whatever mediums that you could use. And make sure you complete the project by 5 p.m. As long as the timestamps are there before 5 p.m. or 5 p.m., that would be considered a valid entry. Appreciate if you start uploading, given the different bandwidth considerations across what you might be using. It would be good if you start uploading all of this ahead in time, late afternoon kind of, so that there is no rush at the end. So these are some of the helpful tips. Also, something which I want to round off quickly is make sure you talk to the mentors about your concepts. You know, talk about you know, the sponsors of your challenge, and you know, information related to that. Also, if you are making sure, if you're making multiple projects, you know, you could use multiple data sets. That's not a problem. But if you are trying to align a couple of challenges together and use you know, multiple data sets and kind of correlate everything together, there is a limit. I believe there's a limit of 5 data sets that you can align as a part of this this year, and you know, make sure that individually you could basically have you submit multiple topics, I mean multiple challenges with multiple data sets. That's not a problem. But if you're combining them, just make sure you know, you do it no more than 5. Yeah. Next is about getting connected. So I talked a little bit about it earlier. This year we want to make sure that we use you know, Slack, and like I said, you know, new registration, use the link at the bottom, govhack.org/Slack. For existing registrations, you could go back to govhackhq.slack.com and basically reinstate your credentials. In Slack, after we would be doing some cleanup of our channel, but you know, these are some of the important hashtags that is important to you. Hashtag help mentors, hashtag talk to organizations, as in talk to ETO, talk to AWS, talk to CEIH, and talk to DPC, and so on. We would have those hashtags available. There will be region specific you know, Slack channels also available for you to jump into and talk to your specific regional teams as well. Zoom, from the Zoom perspective, what we would be having is, we would have a Zoom channel for the mentors. We would be having you know, a Zoom channel for the state teams, who would state volunteer teams who would be available you know, to answer your questions, if any. And of course, there will be breakout team Zoom rooms available for you know, for your groups. So that's a little bit about, you know, how you would get connected this year. Now I'm going to, you know, go to talks, and the first in the talks is these are the talks from our sponsors. So you know, the first in that is a video from Andy Gruff, who is the SVP and you know, regional head for ANZ for Infosys. I would request that Jason, if you can please play that video. Thank you.
I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners where I'm coming in from today, the Camaragal people of the Eora Nation. I'd like to thank their elders past and present for looking after these lands and these waters for many, many generations. And I'd like to recognise all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders from wherever you're connecting today. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to this GovHack Connection event. My name is Andrew Groth, and I'm a Senior Vice President with Infosys. I lead our business across the Australia and the New Zealand region. Infosys, we're a global leader in next generation digital services and consulting. We have clients in over 46 countries around the world, and we help those clients navigate their digital transformation journey. Here in Australia and New Zealand, we have almost 6,000 staff working across banks, telcos, government agencies, utilities, working with those organisations to accelerate their digital journeys. And importantly at this time, to provide resilience in the face of a rapidly changing landscape that we're all seeing. We've been involved with GovHack for many years. In fact, this is our 3rd year running that we're proud and honoured to be the lead partner for GovHack. We're committed to help nurture the next generation of digital talent. In fact, our culture of our organisation, our DNA going back nearly 40 years, is one around continuous learning. And GovHack is a great proven model for that continuous learning. The skills that will be developed, the solutions that you will bring, are critical in this country. They're critical to the economic recovery that's going to be so important moving forward. Of course, we're all missing the in-person connect, but I'm looking forward to connecting virtually for this event, and I know all the team at Infosys likewise is looking forward to connecting with you virtually in this environment we're all operating in. You know, despite the challenges we're all facing, technology has enabled us to connect and has enabled us to be productive, and in many cases I'd actually even argue to be more productive. For me personally, GovHack has always been a great experience. I've loved meeting so many people, I've seen so many great ideas, and I do hope later in the year we may have the opportunity to meet in person as we go forward. Now, GovHack gives you great opportunities. At this time, it gives you an opportunity to play an important role in addressing the key challenges that we're facing as a country right across Australia and New Zealand. And as you do that, you think about the environment we're in, it's now more critical than ever that you really apply a human-centred approach while you're working on your ideas. So I'd ask you all to keep that in mind. As you go through your ideations and your solutions, what's that human-centred approach? That will be really critical in the ideas and the innovations that we're looking for. At Infosys, we've got some really exciting challenges coming your way, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your ideas as we progress. I'm also really excited this year about our partner UiPath. UiPath is a leading robotics process automation company, and they're providing their software platform to all of you to use. I'd really recommend you use that. In fact, use all the tools that GovHack makes available to you as part of this process. I'll be joining you again at the GovHack virtual launch event on the 14th of August. And in the meantime, I wish you all the very best. Keep learning, keep those great ideas coming, and stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy, and appreciate that information. Now we would next go to the next video is from Michelle Howie, who is an API development advocate and product specialist at Telstra Dev. And I would request for that video to be played, please.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Howie and I'm from Telstra Dev, Telstra's API and IoT marketplace, and we're one of the national sponsors for GovHack 2020. A little bit about me, just because I'll be one of the mentors during the hackathon this weekend, so you can find me on Slack to ask me anything. I'm the current developer advocate with Telstra Dev, but before that I was in networks engineering at the 5G Innovation Centre. So as an emerging technologist, you can ask me anything about 5G, IoT, APIs, and other tech like AR, artificial intelligence, robotics, and other things like that. I'm really passionate about sharing these technologies with you guys because I think they can be an enabler for some amazing things that will come out of your hackathon solutions. I've also got a bit of a diverse background, interested in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which I think lends well with the themes of GovHack, which is about openness, open data, and using tech for good. And it's not just tech people that can be involved. So you could be a hacker, a hipster, or a hustler. For me, I'm a little bit of all three. So when people think about Telstra, I'm sure the first thing that came to your mind was some phones with internet and SIM cards and things like that. But it's not just phones anymore. Telstra is connecting the Internet of Things. So that's devices from smart glasses to driverless cars, connected vehicles, even parking sensors and smart bins. So it's not just phones anymore, and it's not just connectivity. So here at Telstra Dev, we are Telstra's API and IoT marketplace, where the main thing is APIs giving you access to some of Telstra's core functionality and services. So the key one we have is the messaging API, which lets you send and receive SMS and MMS with just a few lines of code. And what's really cool about this is that Telstra takes care of the infrastructure and complexities beneath those services, so you can focus on just making things. So dev.telstra.com is going to be a great resource for you in completing your hackathon projects. And if you want to know how to get started, if you've never heard about APIs before or the Internet of Things, you're in luck, because as part of GovHack 2020, I did a presentation for the conference a few weeks ago, which has been recorded. So I introduced what is API for people who haven't heard of APIs before, and step-by-step on how to use this technology. So that'll be really useful if you're going to submit into the Telstra Dev challenges. I won't give too much away, but it will involve using our APIs. So jump onto the GovHack hackerspace to find a link to that event, which was recorded. Thank you so much for having me and Telstra Dev as sponsors this year. Like I said, feel free to reach out to me for any questions regarding networks, emerging technologies, and anything that you need to help with your hack solution. You can reach out on the dev.telstra.com forums if you have any questions from that video. Thanks and good luck with your hack.
So thank you, Michelle, for that wonderful information. From Government of South Australia, Commission on Excellence and Innovation in Health, we have with us today Tina Hardin and Robert Klutz, who are representing Commission on Excellence and Innovation in Health. A very good evening, Tina and Robert. Would really appreciate if you can probably share some information for the entire participants and the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshal. Thank you for that lovely introduction. We're very excited to be part of GovHack this year. The Commission on Excellence and Innovation in Health is a brand new agency, government agency, only formed on 1 July 2019, and became an attached office of the Department for Health and Wellbeing in South Australia from the 6th of January. And as a new agency, so this is obviously our first GovHack. We have a vision at the which we will now call the CEIH. We have a vision, which is together, let's create better healthcare for South Australians. And that's a really important connected theme with GovHack, we feel, because it talks about let's and together. So how do we bring ideas and collaboration and innovation from across, not just within health, but across other industries, to really support health and improvement within South Australia. And better, of course, is we need to be able to measure and understand if we're making a difference and the impact we're having on health for South Australians. So we were really keen to be able to see if we can have some challenges that address health priorities that look at, as my colleague Robert will say shortly, shifting the needle, moving the dial, all of those wonderful phrases that are innovative and excellent, because that's in our name too. Robert, I'm going to throw to you and ask, what do you think are the current health priorities for South Australia?
I think, like a lot of other organizations, both inside and outside government, both inside and outside kind of healthcare, our priorities really underwent sort of a seismic shift in sort of March, kind of April, and sort of that time frame. But honestly, I think it's been really kind of powerful for us for a lot of reasons. Number one, South Australia's been really lucky. We haven't sort of gone through the similar outbreaks that New South Wales and Victoria and other places in the world are. So it's really been a forcing function from an innovation and sort of improvement perspective for us to focus on how do we help South Australia manage kind of our COVID response, and almost more importantly, how do we sort of leverage kind of our capabilities to help prepare South Australia for the post-COVID world. So regardless how long sort of the COVID outbreak lasts, it's really fundamentally shifted, I think, not just sort of healthcare, but our approach to healthcare. especially within CIH, because it's allowed us to say, healthcare isn't just clinicians, it's not just hospitals. So how do we sort of bring in disparate voices from mathematics, from data analytics, from engineering, from 3D printers, from people who are doing all sorts of amazing, innovative things. So whether it's through the National Innovation Games, GovHack, our own Innovation Collaboration Hub, which hopefully we'll have online pretty soon, it's about sort of connecting kind of folks from across the health sector and outside the healthcare sector, not just help us develop better solutions, but also help us ask better questions, because it's not just about solutions. No organization I've ever worked with has suffered from a lack of ideas. It's about how do we engage, how do we collaborate, how do we execute, how do we sustain. And it's much easier to do that when we're not just leveraging sort of the couple dozen folks within CIH or the tens of thousands of folks kind of within SA Health, but really the 1.7, 1.8 million folks across South Australia to help drive ideation, whether it's digital health, whether it's analytics, whether it's AI, machine learning, whether it's virtual realities, amazing capabilities just within kind of 5 kilometers of kind of where we are, let alone the rest of the region. So our kind of priority for the balance of the year is to help sort of connect the dots and bring in as many disparate voices as we can to help drive innovation and excellence and improvement across the health sector. So anything else to add, Tina?
Yeah, well, thanks, Robert. Asking the right question, as you know, that's something I bang on about quite a bit. There's some of my favorite quotes recently are, around, it's really important to ask the right question, and an approximate answer to the right question is much better than a really accurate answer to the wrong question. So there's huge opportunities out there through social media data, through information that's available through the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, through our own opendata.sa.gov.au platform, to bring the information together and think differently, think outside the box, think outside health data for how we can solve health challenges and health problems. Yeah, I think back to you, Harshal, if you have any questions or if you have anything further you'd like us to talk about.
Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn or sort of Twitter,
Absolutely.
whether it's kind of CIH or us individually. We're sort of nerds for this stuff, both inside and outside of work. So happy to sort of connect more either through GovHack or through other avenues as well.
Yeah. No,
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks a lot, Tina and Robert. I really appreciate the information and the insight provided. I think that will give all the participants some kind of an idea in terms of what can be expected as challenges and data sets that would come through our way, as part of the challenges out here, as the competition progresses. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Next, what I would like to talk a little bit about is, of course, I want to thank the sponsors, and we are definitely really thankful to all of them. Starting with the lead corporate international sponsor, which is Infosys. So thank you, Infosys, for being our sponsor. Another of the international sponsors is AWS. I would like to thank AWS. Some of our Australian National Agency sponsors, the Australian Tax Office, CSIRO, Australian Research Datacoms, and the Department of Education, Skills and Employment. So thank you. And of course, there are some additional national sponsors, Telstra Developer and ARNet, which is our backbone internet service provider. From a community partners perspective, Hackathons Australia, we would like to thank them being our community partners, sponsoring us. And coming to our local SA sponsors. So first of all, I would definitely like to thank the Government of South Australia, Department of Premier and Cabinet, for sponsoring us. Like they did last year as well. So thank you so much. And Commission on Excellence and Innovation in Health, again from Government of South Australia. So thank you, and thanks Tina and Robert for being part of this session as well. Now I would like to hand over to Jason to again play a small video which has been put forward by our excellent volunteer team. So hopefully you can enjoy some tidbits as part of this presentation. Over to you, Jason. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Harshada Rajshekara.
My name is Dinuk Nanakar.
I'm Nitish Bajaj.
My name is Tariq.
And my name is Addison.
I participated in the GovHack Awards ceremony last year.
I first get involved in GovHack in 2017 when I was a student.
I am playing the role of a digital facilitator.
So I'm a volunteer helping out GovHack regional operations team.
What excites me to take part in a GovHack?
I'm passionate about utilizing my IT skills for the betterment of the world.
My passion would be cybersecurity.
GovHack is a very good platform to meet new people, and who knows, you might meet some like-minded people as well.
It was a wonderful experience.
And you can see one single problem in different perspective.
Includes so many brilliant ideas.
Get some support from the mentors and the operational team.
By being part of the GovHack, I'm looking forward to gain a lot of experience and help other people.
It's a great learning experience for students like us.
So that is what something that excites me, the fact that there is so much to learn.
And I believe GovHack is such a platform where it allows people to come together and develop something which will benefit to the society.
When you enter a GovHack, when you see different people, when you see different challenges, you realize that there is so much to learn, there's so much to research.
So it was great learning, and our team won a prize in the social startup category.
We won lots of awards.
What is that strategy to win a GovHack?
We were a team of 7 who were representing 6 continents.
In GovHack, you usually do a video submission.
Try to create something which is right from the scratch.
You might not know your teammate previously, but then you come to the event, you meet people, you form a team.
We really need to explain that why it is worth solving the problem that you are solving. What does it make a difference to people's life or to the community? Why it is so important that this is a problem worth to be solved? That what is that one point that resonated with you and your team that you guys took up this challenge to solve this problem?
And I think that is what the beauty of GovHack is. People from different cultures, ethnicities, backgrounds, they come together and they brainstorm and learn from each other.
If you explain that why factor clearly in the video, you're there.
Just give it a try. I'm sure you will do well.
And I believe it's gonna be legendary.
I wish GovHack 2020 all the best from my side.
We will see you all in the digital GovHack weekend this year.
Have fun as well.
See ya!
Thanks, dear volunteers, and I know we have you put in some hard work, and we have some more hard work coming up in a couple of weeks now. So I definitely appreciate all the effort and hard work that you put in, and I'm sure the participants will also enjoy connecting with you after seeing this. Next, what I would like to do is, as the connections event continues, we would like you to jump on to the Zoom link which has been mentioned out here on this particular slide. You can join us and chat with us on the Zoom link. So I'm just going to keep it up over here for some time, and that is something which you would jump into. So the video is this particular live stream ends. Please jump onto this Zoom link now. Thank you.